Hello. Hi. How's it going? Today I'm not going to be talking about anything comic book related. Though, despite the shirt, which says Marvel on it, there's going to be nothing really comic book related in this video, apart from the posters in the background. Um, Afterlife with Ricky Gervais is bloody brilliant. It's so damn good. It's how do I explain this kind of a show? So a lot of times movies and TV shows are described as the feel good movie or show, the feel good story of the year. Afterlife is the feel bad story of the year. It's basically the story about Tony, played by Ricky Gervais, who he has recently just lost his wife to cancer, and Tony's about to kill himself when he finds that the dog needs to be fed. So he decides to feed the dog instead of killing himself, which gives him enough time to be like, right, I don't need to care anymore. If I can live each moment trying to punish the world for taking away the one thing that I loved, and then when I get bored, I always have suicide to fall back on, then he sees it as living with a kind of superpower, in a way. The rest of the series is 6 episodes, which you'd think that would be too short, but it's the perfect length for a series like this. Nothing feels slow. It essentially is just him going about living his life, but it's so powerful with the way that it portrays everything. So Tony's dad has dementia. The first time he goes to see his dad, he's like, why didn't you bring Lisa with you? Lisa's his dead wife. And he's like, why didn't you bring Lisa with you? And he's like, she's dead, Dad. And he has to tell his dad so many times that his wife is dead. It's depressing. It really is. And the second to last episode, episode 5, it had me almost in tears. How gut wrenching it is. Like, seriously, like this kind of a series you have to do well, because you're tackling such a really, like, dark subject matter, and it's not really something that no one else has experienced. It's grief. Everyone experiences grief. Everyone's had a loved one that died. I'm lucky in that way, where I haven't had that big gut punch death that really, like, brought me to my knees yet, but I know that it's gonna happen, and I know what that will be like. So everyone can relate with Tony. Where they can't relate with Tony is the way that he decides to portray his grief. And it's an amazing show because of how it tackles the whole angle of depression. Because Tony isn't like a typical depressed guy. He's funny. He cracks jokes, but oftentimes you can tell that the person that does crack jokes, the person that is really funny, are the people that are the most broken inside. Like, you can tell that from people, at least from my experience, at least. So, and Tony is so invested in his own, like, depression and his own problems that he forgets about the problems of people around him. And he's got this this boss who's also his brother-in-law, who is trying to help him deal with this depression. He kind of loses faith in him in Tony towards the end, and where Tony is finally finding the faith to become a nice person or a nice member of society, his brother-in-law is slowly losing faith, and he's slowly losing the ability to cope. And he's also having problems with his marriage as well, which Tony doesn't really realise until the very last episode. We do see a lot of evidence towards that Ricky Gervais's character Tony isn't a complete dickhead, because there's this old woman at the cemetery where he goes to visit his wife, who he talks to, and he finds a friend in her, and she comes out with this line which I thought was absolutely brilliant, because it does sum up everything. It sums up what I think the message of this whole series is. Happiness is amazing. So amazing it doesn't even matter if it's your own. And I think that's the best message that you can go by with a series like this. Happiness is amazing, but it doesn't matter if it's your own. And I'm gonna leave you with that, really. I guess when talking about this, I do have to bring up that suicide is a major part of this. And if if that's a trigger for you, then probably don't watch it, because it is very, very sad. It does the amazing thing of you'll be laughing one minute and then you'll be in tears the next minute. It's one of those shows, and it's so good in the way that it does it. There's I think I recognised almost everyone from the cast. Of course, Ricky Gervais, main character, but Roisin, the comedy woman, she's in it. Joe Wilkinson from 8 out of 10 Cats fame, he's in it. Plays Postman Pat. See, that it's little things that are really funny in this, but then it hits you with the gut punch as well towards the end of the season, or towards the end of the series. There's scenes that are really funny in the first episode. Like he walks past a school, he sees it, and he says hi to his nephew, and one of the kids is like, pedo, and he says, I'm not a pedo, and if I was, I wouldn't. And if I was, you'd be safe, you chubby ginger cunt. And that's funny, but it's also real, and that's what's so great about this is how people will grieve. This is like the way people grieve, and it's real, and it is realistic. Because if you're about to cough yourself, or like kill off yourself, then you see people as they walk into the beach, they're like folding their clothes before they walk into the beach, or like when someone's about to kill themselves, they'll look at their dog, they'll see they need to feed their dog, and that will give them enough time to realise that life is worth living. So, yeah, that's... I don't know how to end this video, because when talking about something so powerful, I guess is the word, so dark as afterlife or afterlife, it's hard to bring it all to a close. So I guess the best way to sum this all up is with that one quote: happiness is amazing, just doesn't matter if it's yours or not. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash a like. If you didn't, smash a dislike. Yeah, usual links will be in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.